Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Subscribe this channel, hit the bell icon.
Hello all my dear students, Hseb Suraj once again in front of you to help. Today I'm going to tell you about a short story from class 12 Major English, which is an episode of war. This story is from the first unit of the book Encounter. This story is written by Stephen Crane, an American poet, novelist and short story writer. This story has presented bitter experiences of war by a wounded lieutenant. The main theme of this story is that war isn't good for any people or nations. This story, an episode of war, is all in all about a wounded lieutenant and his experiences at war front, barrack, and hospital after being sought out by unknown shooter from jungle side. Now, I would like to tell you about this story's main summary. According to this story, the main character, who is a lieutenant by his rank, was distributing coffee to his fellow soldiers with his sword. There were corporals and other soldiers standing in the line. At the meantime, the lieutenant cried out loudly. A bullet hit the lieutenant's right arm. There was excessive bleeding from lieutenant's arm. All of a sudden, all soldiers cried out loudly. They took their position and aimed their guns towards the jungle side from where the smoke of gunfire was coming out. The lieutenant stepped back, staggering. Due to the excessive pain, he was unable to put his sword back on his scabbard. The lieutenant felt quite strange when he looked at his own sword. The panic mind of lieutenant became perplexed. He started breathing quite rapidly. One of the soldiers helped the lieutenant to put his sword back in his scabbard. The soldier had respect for the lieutenant, but he felt fear to touch the lieutenant carelessly. Later on, the lieutenant refused help from the next soldier. The lieutenant behaved in a very different way himself. He felt himself as if he was incurable patient due to destructive war. He started moving towards Army Barracks Hospital, leaving his group of soldiers. He experienced many things on the way to hospital which he hadn't known before. While walking, he saw a general on his horse riding and a person providing him a paper. That scene seemed like a historical painting. A group of soldiers was following the general. The horses were jumping. The lieutenant stopped at once and looked around. He saw and heard varieties of things as jumping horses, cries from riders, signing guns, roar of the wheels, etc. He paused himself and looked intently. The firing sound of guns could easily be heard from jungle side during that time. The lieutenant met many people on the way to hospital who knew about the battle, though they hadn't taken part in battle before. He saw a brigade busy in making his coffee. One of the officers rebuked the lieutenant after seeing his wound. He tore the sleeve of the lieutenant and made his arm bare. He talked with the lieutenant, placing himself as if he was wounded. The lieutenant moved ahead towards the hospital. He saw two ambulances stuck on a mud. He heard the cries of the wounded people. He even saw a line of bandaged people coming to and going from the hospital. He saw a number of people busy under a tree nursing their wounds. At the initial stair of the school, he found people fighting. He met a man smoking who told the lieutenant that the lieutenant was going to die. Finally, the lieutenant reached the hospital. The surgeon of the hospital greeted the lieutenant in a very friendly way at first. But when he saw the wounded hand of the lieutenant, he started behaving him with hatred. The lieutenant felt himself degraded due to his wounded hand. The surgeon untied the wound of the lieutenant in a very hatred way. The behavior of the surgeon towards the lieutenant changed. He supposed the lieutenant to be a criminal. When lieutenant asked the surgeon whether his arm had to be amputated, the surgeon became too much angry with the lieutenant. He blamed the lieutenant for showing childish behavior. When the lieutenant came out of the hospital armless, he felt the world quite changed. The door of the school seemed to be the door of death to him. After treatment, when the lieutenant returned home, his mother, wife, sister cried in tears to see his armless body. Tears rolled down from his eyes. He told his family members that his hand wasn't important as his life. So this is all in all about this sort of story, which is an episode of War by Stephen Crane. This story has presented the bitter reality of the war. The way of treating healthy as well as wounded army is quite different even in the army barracks. The wounded armies are supposed to be the damaged goods. They are treated in a very biased way. Now, I would like to present you some important questions and their answers which will help you in your job. Thank you for watching this video. We'll meet again in my next video. Until then, bye bye. Take care and don't forget to subscribe and like my videos.